occasionally doesn't go back in the back, but hey, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, then quack. Got a couple things going on here, and I think it's odd. I think it's real odd. Once again, like I talked about the other day, the shocking lack of Caitlin Clark.
Pay attention to what was just said. In this case, one player in particular is repeatedly seen heading to the back for treatment, using heat pads, and dealing with ongoing physical management during games. And when something keeps happening consistently, it naturally raises questions. There's clearly something going on in Indiana that the team is still navigating. Even the Fever's own social media coverage is indirectly reflecting that reality, showing just how much attention is being placed on that situation and how closely fans are watching every update.
Media page on Twitter X. Kelsey Mitchell met with fans. Kelsey, there's the arrivals. Okay. $28 tickets on family night. I mean, guys, people were paying way up for tickets, or willing to, last year. And somebody said, well, you didn't turn out to be right on that attendance. Number one, there were a lot of empty. I just talked to somebody this morning that was at the game. Yes, there were.
May 10th. That's the last time the Indiana Fever's official social media account posted direct content centered around Caitlin Clark outside of standard game highlights. May 10th, Mother's Day. Since then, fans have pointed out what they see as a noticeable shift, a stretch of relative silence around the player who helped drive record attendance and massive viewership last season. Instead, other team content has been more visible: arrival photos, promotional posts, meet and greet announcements, and schedule features highlighting players like Kelsey Mitchell. And fans are paying attention to that balance. Some are even highlighting engagement on posts, pointing to comments and reactions that suggest frustration about direction and visibility, arguing that the fan base is being carried largely by Clark's presence. Whether that interpretation is fair or not, the conversation online is clearly growing louder, and it reflects a fan base that feels deeply invested and increasingly vocal about how the team is being presented publicly.
That game, that opener, I also said in every video, I believe the game would have been sold out by the time you actually got to the game, but people were not willing to pay up for tickets. Guess what? They were not willing to pay up for tickets. That's a massive change from the last two seasons. In fact, ticket prices, they're down.
$28 tickets on family night. Let that sink in. Just last season, demand for Indiana Fever games surged to the point where prices climbed sharply, resale listings spiked, and fans were paying premium rates just to see Caitlin Clark in warm-ups alone. Now, the pricing picture looks very different. Reports of heavily discounted tickets, and even low-cost family packages, have sparked discussion about a noticeable shift in demand. And according to accounts from attendees of the opener, there were still visible empty seats inside the arena. That's not just online speculation. That's the market reaction being reflected in real time. For many fans, it signals a sharp contrast with last season's frenzy, and it's raising questions about what's driving the change in atmosphere and attendance.
Kelsey Mitchell is on here. The Fever hates Caitlin Clark. It's getting weird. 0-4, we got to lose with Kelsey Mitchell ball hogging. Caitlin Clark filled Gamebridge, not Kelsey Mitchell or any other Fever player. Trade Caitlin, free her. It's weird. Caitlin Clark, wake up. Fever management is doing everything to limit your shine. It's weird. It really is. And you can keep going. People are calling them out right now.
Look at those comments. Fans are getting louder and more emotional by the day. Some are saying things like trade Caitlin Clark, free Caitlin, and wake up Caitlin Clark, while others are accusing Indiana Fever management of not fully showcasing Caitlin Clark the way they expect. Whether those claims are fair or not, what's clear is that this isn't just a few isolated reactions anymore. It's becoming a repeated talking point across social media threads and post-game discussions. Fans interpreting the situation as a disconnect between what drives attention and what is being prioritized in team storytelling. In their view, the biggest draw isn't being centered as much as expected, while other narratives are being pushed forward. Supporters describe it like this: the one player who brought massive attention to the franchise feels underemphasized, while other players are being spotlighted in ways that don't match current on-court results. It's an analogy-driven frustration for many, like a business not leaning into its most popular product and instead trying to redirect attention elsewhere. And that disconnect is exactly what's fueling the conversation right now.
And you gotta wonder, right here, this news came out that the WNBA is adding money to their media rights deal. They've added a few more deals. They've elevated the money. Interesting. Y'all scrambled to get this done, did you not? I mean, what? You just signed the media rights deal. Now you're scrambling to elevate it. I mean, you do understand. I wonder if the league understands. If something happens with Caitlin Clark, y'all are going to be... advertisers will be demanding networks give them additional advertising space on some...
Now this is where things start to get more interesting. The WNBA recently moved to expand and restructure its media rights agreements, pushing the total value of the deal to over $3 billion. The average annual value sits around $281 million, roughly 1.5 times the previous contract. On paper, it's a major step forward for the league's business growth. But there are details inside the structure that analysts are paying close attention to. The agreement includes reset provisions that allow both sides to revisit terms after the third season in 2028, including adjustments to length and financial structure. There's also revenue-sharing language tied to advertising and sponsorship performance from broadcasting partners. For some observers, those clauses are being read as standard corporate protections in a rapidly evolving media landscape. For others, they reflect how carefully both sides are positioning themselves for uncertainty in a market that is still heavily influenced by star-driven viewership, especially the surge of attention surrounding Caitlin Clark. Either way, the structure signals one clear reality: the league's value is rising, but the long-term projections are still being actively managed and reassessed as the business continues to grow. Some fans are outraged.
The amount of viewers they agreed to deliver. That's happened to the NFL. Oh, you said this game was going to deliver this. Next thing you know, the NFL and the networks are having to give away free advertisement on a different game. What's going to happen here if Caitlin Clark's injured? Or if she's diminished to the point that nobody wants to watch? WNBA media deal now exceeds $3 billion in total value. 11-year deal worth $3.1 billion with partners Disney, NBC Universal, NBC Peacock, Amazon, Paramount, Scripps, that's Ion, USA Network, NBA TV. A source familiar with...
It's worth considering a hypothetical scenario that some fans are already talking about. If something were to be wrong with Caitlin Clark, whether an undisclosed injury, a limitation in usage, or a broader situation affecting her visibility, it would have immediate ripple effects beyond just the team. In modern sports media deals, viewership is tightly tied to advertising commitments. If projected ratings aren't met, networks and leagues can be forced into make-good arrangements, where advertisers receive additional ad inventory on other broadcasts to balance the shortfall. This isn't unique to the WNBA. Similar mechanisms exist across major leagues, including the NFL, where guaranteed audience expectations sometimes lead to compensatory ad placements if viewership underdelivers. That's why some analysts argue the stakes around star availability are so high. A single major injury, a mismanaged rotation decision, or a prolonged dip in a marquee player's presence can have business implications that extend far beyond the court. And in that context, every update out of Indiana is being watched more closely, not just for basketball performance, but for what it might signal about the league's most influential draw and its broader media value.